back to the State Champs studio for another edition of Extra Innings. I'm your host, Elizabeth Kuhn, here with our baseball analyst, Mark Stroia. Another week of high school baseball in the books. We battled the weather a little bit this week, but don't worry, we still got out to some games and we've got the highlights. So let's jump right into our first game. West Catholic took on Hudsonville. This one was a pitcher's duel. Mark, what'd you see in this one?
The Hudsonville Eagles defeated West Catholic 3-2 last Monday. After a tough first inning on the mound from Hudsonville, sophomore Carson Merritt settled in and pitched 5 innings with 7 Ks for the win. Junior Tylen Van Kempen retired the last 6 Falcon hitters in order for the save. The offense was led by senior outfielder Ethan Post, who had a hit, a sacrifice RBI squeeze bunt, along with Greg Robertson and Ferris Aldred, each with the RBI single apiece. Carson also had 2 hits and a run score to secure the win for Hudsonville.
Mark, it's still early in the season, so what are you hoping to see from this Hudsonville team moving forward in the season?
Well, they've always been a good program. You know, they play a lot of top-notch teams. They play in a fairly tough division, and they're just going to get better. So, you know, as the weather warms up, I think the teams are going to warm up.
Yeah.
You know, the pitching's going to get stronger, the hitting's going to get stronger. So look for them to get on a roll and win a lot of games this season.
Next up, let's head to the Downriver League. Woodhaven took on Trenton. This one went into extra innings. It took 12, but Woodhaven got the win over Trenton 2-1. Mark, do you want to see a pitcher's duel or do you want to see more of an offensive game?
Well, you know what? I mean, both games can be equally exciting. A lot of people like a lot more hitting, but, you know, good defense and strong pitching, that's also, you know, to the true baseball fan, that's also a very exciting game as well. So last week we had 2 of the best teams in the Downriver area. That turned out to be a 3-hour marathon when Woodhaven traveled up the road to take on Trenton. The 6-5 Warriors of Woodhaven, who are the reigning league champs in the Downriver League, were coming off a loss to Allen Park, as well as Trenton, ranked number 10 in Division II, was also coming off an upset defeat by Southgate. Evan Langlos got the start for Woodhaven, in which he went 7 innings, plus striking out 12, allowing only 3 hits, no walks, and 1 unearned run. Taking over in the 8th for the Warriors was Tyler Harris, who struck out 5 and held Trenton to no runs in his 4 innings of work. The Trojans' pitching was just as good as Alex Stepaniak started the game in the Hill, fanning 9 Warriors, allowing 4 hits and an unearned run.
And defensively, in this game, both teams really struggled.
Yeah, they did. It was uncharacteristic of both teams to have committed several errors in this game. Most of the runs in this game were unearned. Until the top of the 12th, when Jake Wright on third base for Woodhaven, Coach Corey Farner elected for the squeeze play. Englund Langlos got a bunt down the third base line, scoring Wright for the victory.
That's so exciting. You know, a squeeze play at the end of the game. How exciting way to end that one. A highly anticipated game, Orchard Lake St. Mary's was supposed to take on Northville. It got canceled because of the rain. You were supposed to what were you looking forward to in that one?
Yeah, I was really looking forward to that game. I was actually going to be one of the umpires, like you said. 2 good teams, 2 good programs going head to head. You know, if there's a team out there, I think that could break the streak for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, it would be Northville. I mean, they're loaded. They have a lot of Division I players on that team, and when they do play later in the year, it's going to be a great matchup. So that's a game you might want to catch if you got nothing else going on. So.
Absolutely, and they'll make up that game next week. We're super excited to catch all the highlights on that one. Lauren Plant sat down with the coach who recently just got his 500th win. You can check that out in the dugout.
Let's talk about the Chemics. 30 wins a year ago, 17-3 in the Saginaw Valley League, a share of the championship, district title, nearly a regional championship. I will not bring up the Matawan regional final. I'm sure that still
happens.
It does, no doubt about it. We're moving on, talking about the team you have this year. I know you like the talent you have on the mound, so kind of talk about what the team is looking like right now.
Sure, right. Right now we're a 500 baseball team. We're still trying to figure out, learn the game. We're starting 4 sophomores at the moment. And it doesn't mean that they're not talented. They're just not experienced in all the facets of the game. We've got some. We've been able to get some good quality pitching, right? We've got a Division I player on the mound. We've got some support guys. We're just not as deep as we have been in years past. We're struggling a little bit offensively right now. But, our goal is to get better throughout the entire season, and peak in June. It's not just a cliche. We need to grow and provide some experiences in practice and learn some things, whether we win or lose on a doubleheader day. It's part of the process. And if you can't measure yourself over the course of the entire year and try to figure out how you're going to get better every day, then you're not doing a good job as a coach, right? So we don't have to be really good on April 1st. We need to be better on June 1st.
To check out that entire interview, just head on over to the State Champs YouTube page. All you need to do is search State Champs Net. We're going to check in now with the latest baseball rankings starting in Division I. Orchard Lake St. Mary's sitting at that top spot. But Mark, what's another team that you see really doing well this season?
You have to mention Northville. I mean, last year they had a ton of underclassmen. They had several sophomores that were starting. Those kids are now juniors. They have Dante Nori, who's the 5th-rated junior outfielder in the country, signed with Mississippi State. They also have third baseman Colin Foley, who was also an All-Stater last year, set a school record with 55 hits last year. They had to replace 2 senior pitchers, but they did that with a trio of juniors who I call the Killer Bees, Cade Besco, Joey Broughton, and Justin Brown. Broughton is attending Pittsburgh next year, and Brown is a Michigan commit. They just have so much depth. They have a lot of experience. They lost to Orchard Lake St. Mary's last year, so I think this is a team that, if they don't get to Michigan State, the Final Four this year, will be a huge disappointment for them.
Absolutely, and like we mentioned, they're going to be playing next week. We're excited to check that out. Moving on now to Division II, Grosse Pointe University Liggett. What do you see with them moving forward this season?
Liggett, they're just good year after year. Coach Dan Samini does such a great job with them. The program is just top-notch. They moved this year to Division II from Division III, and they're still ranked in that division, so that tells you something right there. They're off to a 8-2 start this year with their only 2 losses to Orchard Lake St. Mary's. So Liggett is going to be a tough team to beat, and again, look for them to driving up the road to Michigan State when the season's over. So.
Absolutely, and speaking of tough teams, moving on to Division III, Algonac. What are you really seeing from this program so far this year?
Algonac's off to a 12-1 start. They had some quality opponents already, so they can prove they can play with anybody. They'll be a good team. And you need to look at Detroit Edison this year. They're ranked number 2. Last year they made it all the way to the finals, in which they lost. Also, even E-Course. E-Course is a school located downriver. They're ranked 6th this year. They have some players. So, those are some teams to watch out for in Division III, definitely.
Absolutely, and anything can happen during the season. Division IV, Marine City, Cardinal Mooney sitting at number 1. What do you see in that team?
Yeah, they have a lot of experience coming back. The only player they lost last year was actually the head coach Mike Rice's son, Thomas Rice, who is catching up the road from their school there at Saginaw Valley. They have a lot of experience. Their coach Rice, said that if they could replace the catcher and they could be fairly solid at the catcher spot, they're going to look for a big year because, like I said, they have a lot of experience. A lot of players had playing time last year, and their goal is nothing short of getting up to Michigan State this year as well.
And we'll be checking in with the coaches poll all season long, so make sure you guys check out another episode of Extra Innings next week. We'll see you then.
State Champs Extra Innings is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Be curious. Make magic. Visit ltu.edu. Extra Innings is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Army National Guard, a proud sponsor of the MHSAA. The Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association. For information on awards, clinics, rankings, and this year's All-Star Games, visit mhsbca.org. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation Male and Female Athlete of the Year Awards. Who will be this year's award winners? Find out live June 5th, only on the State Champs Sports Network.